got to stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. All of those who believe that this country was built on the rule of law and democracy as we know it, we are responsible for speaking out, resisting.
And we are back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people, my family. Definitely do appreciate it. You know, it helps us out and it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this content. Now, y'all, today what we're going to look at is a town hall from Representative Nadler. Last night, he's a New York representative, and he had as his keynote speaker, I'm saying keynote, I don't know that he said that, but I'm saying that. We had Letitia James as the keynote speaker, and she laid it all out, y'all. You know what's really becoming clear to me is that Letitia James, I believe she has national aspirations. You will notice that this was not just a town hall kind of question and answer off the cuff, like off the top of my head type. No, she came with prepared remarks. Mark my words, Letitia James either has or I predict will have aspirations to national office. Maybe she goes for governor of New York first. Maybe she goes for senator. Maybe she goes for something else, representative. But I think she has aspirations to maybe first go for a bigger statewide role and then go national. So y'all heard it here. Maybe first. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot into some of her comments. And then as you see in the coming up, at the very end of this video, after you hear all of her comments, we're going to shoot into a post on X that Vivek Ramaswamy, that he reposted, I believe, of some of her greatest moments, some of her clips. You saw that first clip, too male, too pale, too stale. There's more of that in the Letitia James treasure trove, which is going to be at the end of this video. Now, y'all, I want to give just a quick bit of commentary. I think that this is fear mongering. I think this is a little bit of true concern, because whenever one side is in power, the other side, their interests are legitimately, I don't want to say threatened, but they're legitimately under pressure. So there is some legitimate concern. Let's be honest about that. Let's be real. But then what I think is happening here is they're ratcheting up that legitimate concern for the pressure that their interests are under, which they are. They're ratcheting it up. They're taking it from a 3 to 4, 3 to 5 out of 10, and they're ratcheting it up to a 35 out of 10. You see what I'm saying? So this is the way politics is played in this country. You know, you get people riled up, you get people excited, you get people afraid, and then they do what you want them to do. And really what you want them to do is rely on you, right? So that you can have more power, more prestige, and more opportunities. So anyway, y'all, let's shoot directly into this video. I'm not going to do a lot of commentary. I definitely do thank you for watching. Share this video out, people. If you are not subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. We're still so close to that 100,000, trying to get there. And of course, I want to thank you again for watching. Love y'all, and we'll shoot right into the video.
And the fact that Elon Musk says no, he has no authority. Elon Musk is not appointed. The president tried to give him power, but the president, Elon Musk, is not a government official. To be a government official, the president can appoint you. Okay, maybe he did. But he's got to be confirmed by the Senate, which he certainly hasn't been. So he has no authority, although he's assuming the authority, and we will beat that in court, I'm confident.
Great, thank you. We do now have Attorney General James for an update.
Thank you so much. I apologize for being late. I just arrived from Albany. Speaking to members of the legislature about the urgency of the situation and how it's so critically important that individuals understand that we are facing a constitutional crisis. I want to thank Congressmember Nadler I want to thank my friends and colleagues, Kevin Jennings, the CEO of Lambda Legal, as well as Donna Lieberman, the executive director for NICLU. And I've been fortunate to coordinate with them on a lot of the issues that we are confronting. We've been fortunate to coordinate closely with them as we've fought to basically defend our rights and defend our democracy. Now is the time for all of us who believe in the rule of law to stand up. Individuals who value our most fundamental rights to step up and to fight back. We are seeing the most brazen and undemocratic attack on our system of governance in our lifetime. And thankfully, my colleagues, Democratic attorneys general, all across this nation, we prepared for this. We prepared for this 9 months ago. And so we were ready on day one, because during Trump 1, we filed over 100 lawsuits against Trump 1, led by New York and California. And we won 80% of our cases. Why? 1, because they had terrible lawyers. 2, because they did not know the Administrative Procedure Act. 3, because we had a number of judges who were sympathetic to our cause. But now it's different. They have a playbook, Project 2025. Despite the fact during the campaign that they claimed that they knew nothing about it, they lied. They've got the Supreme Court. They have more conservative judges on the bench. And we have strategically decided to stay away from certain circuits. They know the law, and he has better lawyers, and they are much more organized. And so on day one, we filed legal actions, including lawsuits and amicus briefs, to combat President Trump's illegal efforts and Elon Musk, his minions, his band of musketeers. And that includes the executive order to end birthright citizenship, which is enshrined in the 14th Amendment, which grew out of slavery, but also obviously is something that we all respect and we all know was fought for and is enshrined in a number of United States Supreme Court cases. And also Section 1401 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. And we raised concerns also about the misleading federal buyout plan. And this appears to be another effort to reduce the federal government's ability to do its job, but also it's about President Trump and Elon Musk basically paying for tax cuts at the expense of social services and our social network. So it's important that all of us, that we work in concert together. It's also important that we were instrumental in addressing the pause by OMB, which effectively tried to stop payment on federal obligations like law enforcement and Meals on Wheels and Medicaid and veterans, and the list goes on. Our safety net obviously was disrupted for a period of time, and government should be a tool for good, not a tool to disrupt the lives of Americans. The direct assault on Congress's power of the purse would have thrown our nation into chaos. The disrespect for the co-equal branch of government and the failure to understand the constitutional order of things. But once again, it was Democratic attorneys general stepping up once again. And my office also worked with our partners to sue the Trump administration and the Treasury Department for illegally providing Elon Musk and Doge unauthorized access to our addresses, our tax information, our social security numbers, our payment system, our most sensitive personal information to individuals who are less than 25 years old. We also have taken a stand against President Trump and Elon Musk's attempt to kill the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. which was created in the aftermath of the meltdown following the foreclosure debacle. The only reason that we should be concerned is obviously this is an attempt to hurt Americans and hurt everyday New Yorkers. It's chaos, confusion, and contempt for government and contempt for our system of government as we know it. They basically want to impose a program or a government which is a unitarian form of government where the power lies in the hands of one man. And all of us pledge allegiance to the flag, not to the king, not to one individual. And so many have asked me, Tish, do you believe our system of government can hold up? And I say yes. And I say to everyone that the president is not the most powerful individual in these United States. The most powerful force in these United States are its people. And it's really critically important that we understand that and we do not lose hope and think that we have no power. We do. Because villains and thieves have historically been brought down and they never, ever win. Working families in New York and beyond rely upon government. They rely upon CFPB to stop companies and big banks from exploiting them, from all of these junk fees and all of the abuse and exploitation and deceptive business practices. And that's why we're stepping up as attorneys general to protect that agency, but also to assume their responsibilities in all of our respective states. It's also important that individuals understand that we've also taken action against NIH, the National Institute of Health, because the National Institute of Health funds the University of Albany, the University of Rochester, the University of Buffalo, Stony Brook, where they're doing all of these trials to find a cure to cancer, to Parkinson's, to heart disease, all of these brilliant minds. And so they illegally attempted to slash funding to these universities and these research institutions. And we have stepped up to ensure that those hateful attacks are stopped. And we also stepped up against this cultural war on trans community, this hateful attacks on the trans community. Trans community, which has been used over and over and over again during their campaign and even to this day as a cudgel to divide us. We cannot normalize this behavior, and we cannot shrink from our responsibility, not elected officials and not citizens. We have a duty and a responsibility to uphold the law and to uphold and protect this experiment we call democracy. Look, I know this is a lot, and you can rest assured that there's much more chaos to come. But I want all of you to know that the chaos is deliberate. They're throwing everything at us, everything up against the wall to see what sticks. It is meant to disrupt, confuse, demoralize you, and to scare you. But we should not be afraid. We've been here before. Let there be no doubt about it. As we are in a crisis, which is what the great Thomas Paine warned us would try, this is the time that would try our souls. But all of us who believe in the promise of America, all of us who believe in a multicultural, pluralistic society, all of those who believe that my history cannot be erased, all of those who believe that this country was built on the rule of law and democracy as we know it, we are responsible for speaking out, resisting, and using our available tools to protect our democracy. It's up to us to prevail, and it will take the efforts of everyone. Everyone has a role: elected officials, public citizens, public servants, all of us together pulling in the same direction. And we cannot put all of the responsibility on the hands of Democrats. It's time that we flood the phones of Republicans in Congress and demand that they do their jobs. And they do not concede or be usurped by Elon Musk and teenagers, kids, and individuals who have not been vetted, not been subject to conflicts of interest. I thank you, Congressmember, for all that you have done.
Well, thank you. I want to, on behalf of everybody on this call, and I want to thank you for everything you have done, and along with the other Democratic attorneys general who are among the leaders of the fight against Trump and Musk, and to maintain constitutional democracy in this country.
I appreciate you for being a fellow defender in the fight to protect the rights of New Yorkers. Let us continue, but flood those phones, call Republicans, tell them to do their job, tell them to stand up and do the right thing, and tell them that we do not live under the power of a king. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Tish.
He's called me venomous.
We will fight back to your attempt to bring Trumpism to New York City.
He's called me disgraceful.
Of the fact that they stole the Supreme Court seat. An illegitimate president and an illegitimate member of the United States Supreme Court.
He's called me radical.
Listen, we know he's crazy. We know he doesn't have a sound mind. We know he's out of control. We know he's losing it. We know his days are numbered, and we will come together.
He's called me a racist.
We've got to stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale.
Thank you.